moving on to my next
Yes.
question is that a lot of us, a lot of people, especially creative people, have grown up in a very derailed environment in their childhoods with lots of abuse, be it sexual, physical, verbal, whatever it may be, from
Right.
Johnny Depp. And I'm jumping from Johnny Depp to someone like Putin and Hitler and many other people. But some grow up and they arise from it like the
Yeah.
phoenix, and they become unbelievable human beings and successful. And some are Hitler and they want to do genocides and commit genocides and start the
If
eugenics.
we had, I think if they let him be an artist, which he wanted to be a painter, I think the world would be a very different
He
place.
was beaten. I have no sympathy for Hitler, by the way.
Well,
I
they
want
don't know.
that
Imagine that
very
they let
clear.
him be, if they let him be an artist in his younger days, the world would be a very different place. He wouldn't be the kind of, you
So,
know,
so I think a lot of this stems from a person's childhood. That
in your
uh,
formative years. I think so.
that
Yes.
that the first 5 years of a person's child, actually, our identity develops when we're 9 years old. Our personality develops when we're nine. So the first 1 to 9 years are very important. What you're
Mhm.
exposed to, what you see, what you witness, and that makes you, when as an adult, it makes you take either the road less traveled, or it takes you to the devil's home. So
Or it always stays with you for sure, no matter whatever that experience is.
that
Yeah.
trauma will never leave you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. So
Good or bad. Yeah.
my question is that I always root for people like Eminem. Like, he was abused very badly, and I think he's the best rapper in the
Oh,
history.
he's great. He's
He's
one of the greatest. Absolutely.
He's my favorite. I had the biggest crush when I was in doing it my masters at 26. I had the biggest crush on Eminem, and I think
He's the
he's
best,
an
man.
amazing rapper and
For
in the
sure. He's
history of
great.
rappers. And to be and I'm not being racist here, but to be white and to be able to rap and oh my God.
No, no, he spits rhymes like nobody
Lose
else. You're
Yourself
the
is
heck.
my warm up before I start
Come
lifting
on.
weights. That's my
Everybody is
warm
one of
up.
the greatest. Is one of the greatest. It is one of the
Yeah,
greatest.
absolutely. But
So
I
no doubt.
always root for the underdog like Johnny Depp and these kind of people, because I feel like these are the kind of people that grow up to be very successful, and we still haven't been able to put a finger on it scientifically, that why do people who are abused as children, from Eminem to Johnny Depp to Hitler to Putin, become Hitler and Putin and become Johnny Depp and Eminem? What
Well,
is
Johnny Depp did some bad things with his partners that did not that showed up,
right,
you
right?
know.
But
And
but
and and
but
and,
that
and
was
Eminem
what
went
he
into
saw
a dark
growing
side.
up.
The thing is, all humans are we are all so different, and
We're
all
wired
are
differently.
everybody's wired in their own unique way. Everybody's hormones are at
Right.
different levels, right? All the different hormones you have, your serotonin, your dopamine, your endorphins are all at different levels. Your cortisol levels, your stress level are all, one can't predict. It's a combination of genetics,
Right.
experiences, and the way you live your life, right? Your habits and your everyday. We're all creature of habits too, right? What we have perpetuated and how we deal with our lives.
Right.
Now, all those different combos, and then of course external forces, let's say like abuse, or whether it's sexual or mental or verbal, or even witnessing it in some ways, even if it's not personally happened to you, but witnessing a lot of it can also cause damage to people's brain wiring, right? In that sense, I
Right.
think one can never predict, but I think overall, I would say over the years, the studies that I've read, it's true. Those formative years are key in, especially when, we were before getting into raising children. And as I was getting into it, I read more and more about this. Um, those formative years are very crucial, and they do lead you you know, to the experiences and the choices that you go on to make,
Well, yeah, I'll lose.
you know?
I have no shame in using myself as an example.
Yeah.
I grew
Yeah.
up in a home of domestic violence.
Right.
I thought it
Right.
was normal.
Right. Of course you do, because at that time it doesn't register. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I was in India and I was with my partner, I thought that was normal. And
Right.
because it happened to my mom and I thought it was normal.
Yeah.
So you're and I was also 16. That's your mind is not even you're a child at 16. Your mind is not
Yeah.
even developed. So
Yeah.
you assume that to be normal, that's the norm. And
Exactly.
it takes a while as your mind develops and you grow and you obtain education. I was a ninth grade dropout when I went to India.
Yeah.
So I also think that this derailment of being in an environment and circumstances with nurture and nature, I think there's also a gene that nature gives individuals where they have that resilience. They're resilient to all the bad that they've been through, and they use that resilient
Yeah.
gene to make sure that they do good and nothing bad happens to what happened to them to others. I think there's some resilient gene that
Honestly, I'd say more than a gene. I'll take it one step further. Is that more than a gene? I feel that they've absorbed from something. Could be something small. Could be
right,
something that maybe your mom did for you, or a stranger, or someone that you met that stuck with you.
right.
Sometimes it's that. It's just that one beautiful act of kindness that you witnessed, or that someone did for you, or that you witnessed, that stuck with you as well. So even though you went through
Whatever, right.
that abuse, you know, and unfortunately, that continued even in your time,
Teenage years, right.
even your teenage years, right? Um, I think there must have been, and I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but you can tell me that there must have been some force of goodness, like your mom, or another relative, or people that you met. Like, for
Yes,
example, like the stories that you told me, like Dharamji, you know,
yes,
like
yes.
that showed you that there is still goodness in this world.
So
And
when
I
I
think,
came back from India, to answer your question, my half sister who passed away in 2015,
right,
she changed my life,
there
and
you go. See, so
my
there's
mentor in college, he changed my life. I
there
owe
you go.
everything I who I am today, I owe it to my half sister and to my mentor in my college in undergraduate. He was my worst subject professor, stats. I used to hate stats, but as a psychology student, you have to do them.
I have to do
And
it.
but he made sure I get an A plus in that. And I used to spend 8 hours on Saturday and Sunday doing formulas. I wanted to pull my hair out, but if it weren't for my half sister and him, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Exactly. See, there you go. There you go.
That's that's
I
a
rest.
beautiful thing that you acknowledge. You
I
you
rest my
you
case.
won. That's
No,
amazing. I didn't even think of that they saved me. They were my
I,
saviors.
that's what I mean. Like, if you think, like, you thought about it right now and it hit you, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we you mashallah, you went on to do what you did, but sometimes we don't think about those moments that shaped us. You do think about those harsh ones, but sometimes we're so in the flow of life that we don't think about those other moments that also shaped us to
And
do
the
the good.
people who helped us.
And I will give credit this, I'll give credit to my parents in such a big way that in so many things could have gone wrong in that environment. Like, there was so much, like, I was working from a young age in studios and all these things. You see a lot of things, you see a lot of
I
shady things
grew up in a
sometimes.
studio in
you
Pakistan.
know it you know it
I
right? So
remember.
you see a lot of good, see a lot of wonderful things. And the way, I saw the way my parents would treat anybody on any level, and it was equal. So you saw those things, but you also saw, like, women being misused and abused, and you see, like, misogyny, and you see all these, like, terrible, terrible male chauvinistic habits and
Yeah,
toxic
I
male
grew up.
traits, and
I
you see
saw
all these
a
things.
lot of my mom's friends come home and they had bruises all over them.
You saw all these things, and you saw these women just going through it because they felt like they had no choice,
And they're
unfortunately.
affluent women. Like they're
Of
not.
course. But they felt like, yeah, if I leave them, then there's a stigma, and there's all these terrible things that is part of our society. And
Our
it's even
society is our fabric of our society is built on two things: guilt and
Yeah.
shame.
But you know what's funny is that you realize when you come to the West is that they've had the similar problems. They
Yeah,
also still
yeah.
continue to have those problems. It's actually a world
I've
patriarchy
had victims that are
issue.
American that are
You
afraid
know it.
to tell their story.
Yeah, I've met
They're
so many people
American, born
here.
and brought up Americans that they don't want to talk
My
about
God.
being abused, physically abused by their husbands or their
Yeah.
boyfriends.
So many people
It's
here that I
a
met that are
it's a global epidemic. It's
exactly
not
whether
just,
they're
yeah.
LGBTQ2I, whether they're straight, whether they're man, men, women, like all like it's
I've had
surprising.
mothers come to me and say, I don't want my anyone to know about my daughter being sexually abused. And I'm saying, but I have to get her tested. We have
Yeah.
to get her tested to prove in the court to get your husband arrested.
The world is seeing a shift thanks to these conversations being had more openly. I think it's a must to
Right.
have put these conversations out there, and for all the lovely, awesome, brave victims that have come forth and divulged details and things. It's harsh. It's uncomfortable, like you say. Like this conversation, which has been
That's
nothing but wonderful, by the
name
way. Like
because
this is
I picked this name and I thought this would scare people, but I was like, no, I like
no, no, no. It's wonderful because this is what I'm bringing it back to. Is I think that these uncomfortable things, it what leads to
we need to
healing.
make all of these things a norm.
This is what leads to healing, and this is how even in Pakistan and India and even in like places like Africa, the fact that these conversations are happening in third world countries as well, where they were happening less so, and especially when we were growing up, these conversations did not happen. That's
Right.
part of the problem, is that the victims or the abusers would not be brought to light.
Not
So
only
now that
that,
these
there was
conversations
no such thing as psychology.
tiny, na, those conversations were not had. Going to a therapist was not a thing. In fact, you were weak. You were weak if you went to a therapist.
पागल
You
खाने
know?
में डाल देते थे आपको.
हाँ, देखिए यार ये तो बंदा ही ठीक नहीं है. There's something wrong with this person.
हाँ,
So let's put them in,
a
and
mental institution.
I
Can you
remember there was
imagine
a
the conditions of Karachi's mental institutions and
Somi, I
India's
cannot
mental?
tell you. I was shooting a play there's a place called Nagan Chorangi, which has Pakistan's one mental asylum in
Okay,
Karachi. Okay?
is
Uh,
Karachi? क्या
in
नाम
Karachi.
क्या नाम है?
It's in near Nagan Chorangi. ठीक है?
अच्छा.
Um, which is close to PSHS, like so towards the PSHS. You go a little further where you grew up, and
Oh my
you
God.
go a little deeper there, and it's on that side. And I was filming a TV series there, and this was and I was must have been 22, 23 at the time, and I was in College of Business Management because there was no film school at the time. So I was doing a degree in marketing, putting myself through. I was like, chalo, might as well.
Right.
And I was acting. I was doing this TV series there. And while I was filming a scene, this girl came running to me. She had her
Right.
head shaved and she was wearing a dupatta and she came running and there were guards chasing behind her. I said, wait, hado. Koi haath nahi lagayega isko. Wait, move back, move back. And I moved the guards away and I was like, what's wrong? And I knew that face. And I was like, I know you. I was like, you were in college with me last year. What are you doing here?
Right.
And she was put in solitary confinement in this mental asylum. Okay. Um, and this girl was like, Ali Bhai, I cannot tell you what has happened with me. She was a well to do, smart girl. She fell in love with the wrong kind of guy, a feudal guy, who gave her all these dreams and told her, we'll run away, we'll get married, it'll be fun, wonderful, blah, 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 and took her away from her family. And then, again, this is uncomfortable and I'm sorry I have to say this, but it's just, I'll never forget that moment.
On this show.
It's just that, and then him and his friends gang raped her near the highway and
On.
then just dumped her there.
Oh my God.
And she had to make her way back. This woman was this girl was such brave girl. She found her way back. She came home to her parents. And this is where it comes to that we need to discuss these things with our kids, with our families, whether we need to unburden ourselves with therapists. Like, you need to do it so that it will help so many other people.
Right.
And this girl went home and tried to tell her family the truth. And she's like, I'm sorry I ran away, but this is the truth. And I just made a mistake. I'm sorry. But, you know, and her brother, her mom abandoned her and said, now your brother and your father will handle you.
Oh my God.
And they just locked her up and said she's nuts. And she brought shame to her family, you know. And then she kept saying that, please, just like, don't do this to me. And all they did eventually was like, you know what, the only way out of this, because we can't get her married, everybody knows this story, all her college mates, the word has spread. They put her in this mental asylum
Oh my God.
where they shaved her head, and she was just one of many, and she was in like
How long
solitary.
ago was this?
This is now 20 years ago.
Do you know
you
where
know
she is now?
I believe that now, so I remember, so this is where the story is going, is that I spoke to her family. I told them this is no way to be dealing with any of this. And Sally Bhai Nini Aapse Kehne kind of thing. Of course, being a celebrity kind of thing, they kind of, whatever it is, like being an artist, they kind of, I guess, listen to you, and they kind of put some faith in you that, okay. So they came and got her. And I believe that her life is better now. But these conversations, this is one example. There, and I go and speak at in institutes, and I try to give back, and I try to help, women, because my mother, again, and I was going back to, I give my parents this credit that my dad was a very evolved man. We didn't have gender roles like that. He cooked for us. The women of my family didn't cook. Dad cooked for us. Woke up in the morning, took us to school, did all that. My mom was busy editing and like directing and things like that, and dad was performing, but it was a very equal relationship. My mother, for Johns Hopkins University for women of abuse, she created multiple TV series and gave birth to multiple charities, and for Johns Hopkins to come and help and aid more charities for women that have been abused in Pakistan. So I had great role models that had taught me so much, in this. And I give a lot of credit to my parents too, for me to, and I try continuing this fight with the Citizens Foundation, and with Dar Sukoon, which is an agency in Pakistan for disabled children, and for the kidney center and multiple other people where people don't get access to medical care when
That's
they're in,
unbelievable. Thank you.
So I'm trying my best. I'm
Thank
trying
you
my
for
best, but
doing that. Thank you.
and I want to give back and do my best even with your organization. That's part of the reason why I
Thank
wanted to
you.
do this chat, as I really do, because
Well, that's a conversation I want to have with you later.
we'll have that later. We'll have that later,
We'll
but I
have
wanted to
that
put it out
later. But
there.
thank you for doing what you're doing. I'm
It's
just
so
I'm
little, so me.
so
There's so much, as which well. There's so
I
much to be
see a
done.
horror movie every day,
Exactly.
all night. On the
Exactly.
weekends, I have no days off because everyone
Exactly.
has no days off. And
Exactly.
I
ऐसा ही है.
have, in 19 years, the things I've seen cannot be unseen. And I cannot tell you what I've seen done to children. You will not
Exactly.
believe.
नहीं, बिल्कुल ऐसा है.
Our
बिल्कुल ऐसा है.
youngest victim was a 2-year-old baby girl being sold by her own parents on the dark web
बिल्कुल ऐसा है.
for
बिल्कुल.
sex. Can you
There's
imagine?
so many. Of course, there's so many documented and undocumented cases, and then you realize that when we got in our 30s, right,
Right,
and we were all in more comfortable space and older and mature and had lived life and experienced things, that when even with my closest friends, like let's say 10 of my closest friends that I grew up with, and we had similar experiences, similar socioeconomic backgrounds and everything, you know
right.
to hear that over 90% of just that group had been abused in some way as a kid, you know
Yeah,
and you realize that this is people from good socioeconomic backgrounds and people you knew all your life, but even they have had some level of abuse in some way, whether sexual, mental, verbal. And
And verbal abuse, and also please, if you get a chance, do listen to Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I've
I
listened to
will.
it a couple of times, and I was a huge fan of Bon Jovi when I was a child.
Of
That was
course,
my
man.
favorite
That
song.
was our time. Come on, the 90s,
Yeah,
man.
I was a huge fan. Anyway, but do listen to Matthew Perry's book. I think I do Audible. I can't read because I don't have time. I'm always commuting
I
back and
know. I know
forth,
your schedule.
FBI, victims,
I
police
know. I know.
departments. I fly to
God
New
bless you.
York because I speak four languages. So I'm always traveling for No More Tears. But okay, let's make it a little lighter now. How would you describe your personality in 3 words?
That's tough. Oh my God.
Three words, come on.
Kind, fun, and exploratory.
I like that. Okay, I like
What
that.
about you? I throw it right back to you.
Um, vulnerable, um, very trusting, still, despite of
Wonderful.
everything.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Because you've healed. Because you've healed in so many ways.
Loyal.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for if someone truly cares about me, I will give my life for them, be it
I
a
love
family
that.
member or a friend. And I mean that. Because I will give my life for my children that I rescue, or men or women, or our brothers and sisters from the LGBTQ families. So,
That's wonderful.
yeah. Okay. What
Unique.
annoys you the most about people?
Annoys me the most?
I have a pet peeve, so you've got to have a pet peeve too.
We all have a few. This is going to be, I'm going to need another 2 hours for this, please. No, no, no. Two things. I'll give you two. Two
Okay.
major ones. One,
Okay.
double standards,
Okay.
real pet peeve.
Good
I'm
one.
like,
Good
do
one.
unto others as they would do unto you. Like
Right.
you are, have these two really unequal double standards. I'm doing this, but no, no, no. This person doing this, I'm going to judge them. I'm like, that's a bit shady, that. And two, people who pretend to be something that they're not, like pretentious people. I like I like I like real people. I want you to be real, and especially, I guess there's also the age I'm in. You know, you've seen enough in life. You know, you've experienced quite a bit by now, and just be real, man. Like whatever you are, it doesn't matter. Like whether you're, you know, if you like expensive things and want to be extravagant, that's cool, man. But
Right.
be real. Don't give
Don't
me
be
this
pretentious.
pretense.
Don't be
Don't be
pretentious.
pretentious. You
Right.
know, like don't be pretentious. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What's your
What
big pet
annoys
peeve?
me in people?
Yeah.
Um, Lies.
There you go. Okay, good. I like it. Deception.
And I don't like people who, when I'm not in the room, I find out that they never stuck up for me and someone was
I like
talking
that.
about me poorly and they never took a stand for me and they
So
claim to be my friend.
backbiters.
Yeah,
Backbiters.
but they claim to be my friends and they never took a stand for me. That's my biggest pet peeve.
In Urdu इसे कहते हैं गीबत
पीठ पे
करना.
छुरा भोंकना.
गीबत. The actual term for it is गीबत करना.
ये थोड़ी ठोस उर्दू हो गई.
थोड़ी ठोस उर्दू
हाँ,
है.
पीठ पे छुरा भोंकने तक मुझे आता है.
अरे उसी का पेट में with the छुरी I'll give you a nice one. You like this one. You'll use it.
Okay, you too, Brutus, I get, but
No, no, वो तो है. But there's a
हाँ,
there's a person. If there's a person like that, you call that person a मीठी छुरी.
हाँ, मीठी छुरी तो मुझे पता है.
मीठी छुरी.
वो
मीठी
तो मुझे
छुरी.
पता है. वो तो मैंने
हाँ, कि
देखा है.
nice to your
वो
face.
तो भरे हुए
लेकिन
भरे हुए
हाँ ये
भरे हुए इतनी मीठी छुरियां, इतनी
और
मीठी
हमारी
छुरियां.
इंडस्ट्री में भी बहुत है.
हाँ हाँ, हमारी इंडस्ट्री में तो सब मीठी छुरियां हैं. अच्छा, what do you love about people?
the capacity the capacity to love is what I love about people. I think a lot of times we underestimate as humans our capacity to love and appreciate things and to
Okay,
give back.
okay.
That's what I love. I think that people start to be more what do you call it? Think about your internal thoughts. Think about your just take a moment and be more intrinsic. and look inside, I think you might realize that you have a lot more capacity to love and appreciate this life that we live than we may want to acknowledge or may even know.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. All right.
I pose the same to you as we're going along. I want to hear
Okay. I
you
I
hear on this show. You hear Somi's answer and Ali's answer.
That's the concept of the show. That's the concept of the show. So I love people um that are honest
Love that.
and
Absolutely.
that will take a stand for someone that is not directly related or will not impact their life, but it will help someone else. I love that about those people that they
Beautiful.
take a stand for a stranger, but it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with them at all.
Yeah.
Love that about people. Absolutely.
It's true.
Okay. The one thing
Love
that
that.
you will never ever sacrifice for the most amazing role in a movie.
My family life.
Yeah, I knew that you were gonna say that.
100%. There's no brainer. No brainer. No brainer.
Okay. All right.
That's probably the question I've answered the fastest in this whole thing.
You have, but that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so back to a little fun. Who's your favorite Bollywood male and female actor from your childhood?
Ooh, that's again, it's a no-brainer, man. Bachchan Saab, Amitabh Bachchan was my number one. I was obsessed with Sholay, and I used to dress like Jay for the longest time, like a denim jacket.
Mine was
Um,
Rajesh Khanna.
ooh, Khanna Saab bhi, the first superstar of
Superstar, yeah.
Bollywood. Love him. Some of the best songs picturized on him. You know.
Amazing.
So yeah, Amit ji for me, and
Female?
but bachpan mein it started
Ah,
with Rekha ji, of
my
course.
John. She's my
Started with Rekha ji,
queen.
but
Too
then
late.
in the '90s, I have to say this because I just have to. Is Madhuri was like
Oh my God.
that just overtook
Yes.
everything,
Yes,
like Madhuri
she's
was like,
still to die for. But
and
Reka,
Madhuri was
Reka is
multi-generational.
my John. She's like
100%. I agree with you. That
Parveen
started it off.
Bobby, Zeenat Aman, Reka,
Parveen Bobby,
May. I
Zeenat
mean,
Aman, 100%.
oh
Love
my
them.
God. Satyam
But I guess,
Shivasundaram. Oh my God.
oh my God. But I guess by the time I was in in the in the '90s, I was a teenager. Madhuri was like multi-generational. My
Yeah.
grandfather, my
Yeah.
father, and myself were all
When
like,
I was
wow.
16, she was already acting in India.
Exactly.
She was a huge star. And
Exactly.
she was doing when I was mid in my career in Bollywood,
Exactly.
she was doing Khalnayak at the time. चोली के नीचे क्या है? That's
Aha.
हाँ. तो अच्छा
चोली के पीछे क्या है?
हाँ. Hollywood current movie stars, male and female.
Kate Blanchett.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
Kate
Phenomenal.
Blanchett, a big.
Unbelievable actor.
She's amazing. She can do anything. She can literally just transform and do anything.
Her accent to changing to American, there's not a single
She's too
glitch.
good. She's too good.
Single glitch. She's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
she's amazing, and she transforms into every role that she does. She's
Yeah,
like,
it's unbelievable.
um, her, and I think in the men, I think Daniel Day, Daniel Day Lewis. He's really again just I don't even know how he does it. Like he's a really transformative guy. Like he goes into. I mean, he's full on a method actor, but he just goes into a role and he disappears. Very few actors can do that.
Right,
Like there's no trace of him. He's a different guy in every single film.
right.
So I'd say, I guess, in terms of admiration, yeah, I guess. But I also do love, like, I do love Brad Pitt. He's a classic. I think he's great. Um,
He's good looking and he's a very good actor.
he's a very good actor.
He's it's a package. He's a very good actor.
My favorite from back in the day was Brando and Pacino.
Right.
Those are the guys I grew up watching, and
Yeah.
you know,
I know. I mean that play, what was
Streetcar,
car on what is it? The
Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh, I've seen that movie so many times. It's an amazing, beautiful script. I think they need to remake that in India. It's a
I know,
beautiful script.
I
What an
know.
amazing script. Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. I still love Al Pacino and Bob De Niro.
You
Uh,
still gotta love Al Pacino, man.
have you seen Angelina Jolie in the film where she plays in a mental
Of
institution?
course, The Girl
Girl
Interrupted,
Interrupted.
one of
That
my favorite films.
what a
Wonderful.
performance. Oh my God, unbelievable. So I would have to go with Angelina Jolie, and in male I would have to go with Leonardo DiCaprio.
You're a Leo fan.
Unbelievable.
I do like Leo as well.
In
I like
Once
him.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, he was so good.
I enjoy the movie very much.
So good. Okay, अब जल्दी से आप हमें अलिफ बे पे ते सुना दीजिए हमें जानना चाहते हैं हम जानना चाहते हैं we want to know if you know them all. Let's go. One, two, three, go.
अलिफ बे पे ते से जीम चे हे खे जे तोय जोय एन गैन नून लाम मीम नून गुन्ना. What up?
Wow. Oh my God.
देखिए मैं उर्दू में ड्रामे करता था, उर्दू में मुबाहिसे यानी कि डिबेट्स भी करता था. सो
Oh my God. Oh man, I thought you were gonna suck at that. I had nailed it down. I was like, this guy's gonna suck at this.
दैट्स द फनी पार्ट.
Unbelievable. Okay, moving on. All right. Do you believe fame automatically makes people generate a superior existence or a God complex? Or it depends on how grounded the person is before being famous.
It does not depend on how grounded the person is before.
Okay,
It doesn't, because I've seen many people change no matter how grounded they are.
right.
There's no formula to it. I
Okay,
think I do think though, I do think it does relate to the experience you've had in your formative years.
okay,
I think it does relate to that psychologically. I
okay,
think that's how fame affects you. I think if you've been comfortable and seen examples of people being comfortable in their existence, no matter what money level, income level they've been at, you tend to be a much more secure person.
okay.
But not everybody's life is that way. I mean, like it's like sometimes maybe they've seen really bad times, and then you, as growing up, and then you want to, when you achieve fame, then you want to really like see like, hey world, look at me, I've made something of myself, and then you kind of get self-involved in that,
So, in
because
my opinion, I think the person who's very grounded is the king of the Bacha of Bollywood, and that's Shah Rukh. I think
yes,
he's very
100%.
grounded.
But देखो, but I think if you ever you know if you ever study his I am a big fan of Shah Rukh as well,
And
and
I know his wife very very well, so
Gauri, right?
I know he's very grounded. I know that he's
100%. But
very
I think if you
intellectual. He's well read.
but if you listen to his, if you ever hear, if you look at his background, if you study his lineage, then in that you'll see that he came from a very balanced, um, educated background. So
Right,
which is, money wasn't, income wasn't the thing. He wasn't poor. He wasn't rich. He was got, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I feel that, I mean, my humble opinion, I feel that kind of, that can change. There's no formula in my view, because I've seen a lot. I've seen enough people that change from being grounded to fame, get to their heads. Some people, because the business is also hard that way. Sometimes you can go really low, even if you come from a good background, whatever. You can go really low and have no work, and people say to, he's not an actor, blah blah blah, and then you can make a comeback and then be like, all right, now I'm going to be egotistical and I'm going to flaunt it. So you don't know. I feel
Right,
everybody has some of their experiences.
right.
So I wouldn't say that it's just because of, but I would say if I was to generalize, taking Shah Rukh's example, and I'd like to put myself in that same list, is that fame is not the goal. If it's come, great. That's what my parents taught me as well. Okay, if it's come as a byproduct, enjoy it. Zabardast, give back, take it as best as you can. But the goal is to create art. I think that's a very interesting question, actually. That really made me think, because it's true. Because you and I both know, we've seen people that have gone from being really grounded to
Oh
letting things
God.
get to their heads.
Oh God. I
You
have
know,
seen that.
we have, right? We've seen it, and it's quite common, unfortunately. But if you still love the
And
art
it's
of it,
not just in the film industry. It's
no, no,
it's
no,
in every
everywhere,
field,
everywhere,
corporations,
yeah,
everywhere.
it's
Every
everywhere.
I think people forget that they're not immortal, that we all have to go
Yeah.
in the end. I think ये एक बहुत अहम बात
कोई
है।
तो जवाब देना है बाद में जाके ना
लोग भूल जाते हैं, हाँ ये भूल
लोग भूल
जाते हैं
जाते हैं,
कि एक ना एक दिन आप आप जब आपको हम सब कुछ आप सब कुछ पीछे छोड़ के जो आप जमा कर रहे
सब
हो
छोड़ जाते
सब
हैं।
छोड़ के जाना है। तो एक ही जिंदगी है, तो उसका मतलब अच्छा आप इस्तेमाल करिए, लोगों
यही,
के साथ काइंडनेस से पेश आइए।
which is
एनीवे,
why I don't think people are all bad, but I think you get lost, and I think that's why it's important to keep, like, to
but you have to surround yourself with good, positive people. That takes a huge toll. Who your
yeah,
entourage, आपके चमचे कौन है, आपके
and वो
असली दोस्त
चमचे
कौन है।
सिर्फ सिर्फ अगर yes men वाले चमचे हैं तो फिर वो भी troublesome है ना.
हाँ, तो फिर वो आपकी हर बुराई को भी अच्छा बोलेंगे।
Like what happened with Leo, if you remember, he had these chamchas at a time, and he used to be playing basketball with them, and he's not the best basketball player, but
Right.
there's a video of him tossing the basketball, and it and it misses the hoop completely. But
Yes.
his guys in the back are like, "Yo, you did it, man!" And he turned
Yeah.
around. He's like, "Oh, I did it."
That's so sad.
That's what I
That
mean.
makes me sad. It's so sad to do that.
So yeah. So I
All right,
think yeah.
what's the worst thing that you have ever done, and have you made amends and apologized for it? Hey, I'm gonna put you on the spot, buddy. It's you're not
Oh
dealing with
God.
average,
Um,
normal, journalists. This is
honestly,
intellectualism all the way here.
no. There's I'm quite a contemplative person. Like, I do think a lot about my actions and what I've done in the past and what I continue to do and what I do in the present. I would like to say that jo bhi baat hai, no matter what it is, we're all sinners in some way. We've all done wrong things in some way. But I will say this, that I've always made amends. Like, for example, I'll give you a cutesy example.
Okay.
Is back in the day. This is terrible. Oh my God, so cringy. There was a back in the day when you were like maybe 15, 16, and you've just shaved off your peach fuzz and you kind of feeling good about yourself, like,
Right.
as you did back in the day, and innocent times in the 90s. And I remember there was this girl who was a lovely girl who who had not waxed her arms yet. Okay.
Right. Right.
And I remember, like, on a dare that I went and told her, I was like, you should, like, aren't you ever going to get rid of this jungle? And I felt so tired. And I remember next day, she came up to me and she's like, "Is this good enough for you?" And she had, like, waxed her arm, and I felt so terrible. And I apologized for a full week after, and she forgave me, luckily. And I remember, and that always stayed with me. I was like, whether on a dare, whether whatever, don't be unkind to anybody, man. That's just not cool.
Right.
Yeah. So things, so like, so definitely that, not anything like that never happened again. I've made sure of that. But sometimes you do things without realizing, or even with your kids,
Unintentionally, yeah.
even with your kids,
Oh,
or even at work, or even in general with just, road rage or something or the other.
unintentionally. We're
But I will say this, that I can say this with full candor, that I've always made sure that I do my best to apologize and try to make amends, for sure.
good answer.
I
Good.
like doing life.
Okay. Okay.
What about you? Quick, give me one.
Um, when I was 8 years old, in defense, DHA Defense Housing Authority में
बिल्कुल ठीक. That's
खयाबाने
right.
कुछ में मेरी
मैंने कुछ.
हाँ, मेरी एक फ्रेंड रहती थी जिनकी मम्मी टीवी पे न्यूज़ पढ़ती थी, मैमूना
हाँ,
हक और आमना हक मेरी दोस्त थी। तो वो मेरे सीजीएम में थी स्कूल में। तो
yeah,
मैंने कभी बबल बैथ नहीं देखा था। तो
हाँ,
मैं 8 साल की थी, तो मैं उनके जब बाथरूम में यूज करने गई, तो मैंने बबल बैथ अपने फ्रॉक में भर लिया बहुत सारा, और मुझे ये नहीं एहसास हुआ कि मैं चोरी कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था। मैंने सोचा था हमारे घर में ये क्यों नहीं है। तो जब मैं बाथरूम से निकली तो इतने सारे छोटे छोटे बबल बाथ जमीन पे उन सबके सामने गिर गए, और मैं इतनी शर्मिंदा, इतनी शर्मिंदा। तो उन सब उन्होंने उठा के, दोनों बहनों ने, उन्होंने कहा ये ले लो, तुम्हें चुराने की क्या जरूरत थी। तो मैंने कहा ये मैंने
That's still cute, yaar.
ये
That's still
मैंने बहुत
cute.
बुरा काम किया है। अच्छा,
Lo.
अच्छा, दूसरा बुरा काम ये किया है जिसके लिए मैंने माफी मांग ली है। जब मैं 16 साल की थी, तो मैं जिनके लिए गई थी इंडिया, उनकी शादी होने वाली थी। तो उन्होंने उनसे शादी तोड़ के वो मेरे साथ आ गए थे। तो मैंने
Oh.
उनसे कोई 12 साल पहले बैंकॉक पे मैं ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग के कन्वेंशन में गई थी,
हाँ.
और उस दौरान वो इंसान भी वहां थे। उन औरत का फोन आया था उनकी तबीयत पूछने के लिए, तो मैंने फोन लेके उन औरत से माफी मांगी थी कि मैं 16 साल की थी, मुझे माफ
Oh.
कर दीजिए, मैंने जो किया। और इसमें मेरी मेरी पूरी गलती, आधी माफी मांगी थी। मैंने कहा
You were
मेरी,
so young when all that happened, though. You know,
हाँ,
like we didn't appreciate
तो
that.
वो उस दौरान वो 33 की थी,
Huh.
और मैं 16 की थी। तो
Wow, I didn't realize you were that young, Somi.
मैंने
Baba.
कहा कि मुझे माफ कर दीजिए, मैं बच्ची थी, और आपके शादी के कार्ड भी छप चुके थे, और आप मुझे प्लीज, मुझे माफ कर दीजिए, मुझसे गलती हो गई। तो ये मेरी दो चीजें हैं जो मैंने, एक तो वो बबल बैग चुराया था, और दूसरी बात, एक एक आदमी की शादी रुकवा के उसको चुरा लिया मैंने। मगर मैं पूरा इल्जाम नहीं लूंगी अपने ऊपर, क्योंकि
नहीं नहीं नहीं,
आदमी का भी इल्जाम होना चाहिए।
आदमी का बहुत ज्यादा हाथ है बिकॉज
ताली दो हाथ
बिकॉज
से बजती है।
आदमी का ज्यादा हाथ है भाई, वो ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस्ड और ओल्डर थे एज वेल, तो यू शुड
एग्जैक्ट।
नोन बेटर एज वेल, ये भी है.
Acha, how many languages do you speak?
A few, some bits and pieces, but some, yeah, like I speak Urdu, I can speak some Hindi, I speak Punjabi, do a little bit of Arabic, a little bit of Farsi, a little French, a little Spanish,
Wow.
little, but functional, functional.
Say something in Punjabi, because I think I can understand it. I can't speak it. Say just a
Punjabi
sentence.
ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ. ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਜਾਓਗੇ, ਕੋਈ ਉਰਦੂ ਦੇ ਬੜੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਕਰੀਬ ਕਰੀਬ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ.
Okay, you'll understand everything. You can say anything. It's not very different. It's very close to Urdu.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
Correct?
ਠੀਕ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਐਸੀ. I've done a ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੂਵੀ, ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੂਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਦਿਲਜੀਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ.
अरे वाह, की गल
ਉਹਦਾ
कर रहे हो?
ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੈ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਜੀ.
Oh my God, you went hardcore. Okay. Um,
I know that you are also a language person, so you speak multiple languages too.
I speak Hindi fluently.
Yeah,
I speak Urdu fluently. I can
fantastic.
speak Arabic, of course, and I can understand Punjabi. I can speak it a little bit.
A
That's why
little
I
bit.
brought up Punjabi. I can understand Gujarati, speak it a little bit,
Yeah,
Gujarati.
yeah,
And in India, in the rural areas, there are certain dialects in
yeah.
Rajasthan, Jaipur, Jaisalmer, in जगहों पे, अमृतसर में तो पंजाबी और ये सब होती है।
पंजाबी, हाँ ज़्यादा.
यूपी बिहार का स्टाइल होता है बात करने का, तो वो सब मैंने
Right.
पिकअप किए थे अपने एक्टिंग के जमाने में। मैं क्या करती
बिल्कुल.
थी, जब शॉट लग रहे होते थे, तो लोकल्स है ना, उनके साथ में बैठ के इंडियन स्टाइल आलती पालती मार के, क्योंकि मैं मायमी से आई थी, मैं उनके साथ गप्पे मारना शुरू हो जाती थी। तो आई वुड पिक अप देयर द
Yeah,
लहजा है, उनका बोलने का जो डायलेक्ट्स है, वो
but
मैं।
that's what I mean.
राइट,
Over the years, I realized
राइट।
that the truth is that not everybody can do that. Actually, it's a very, your language cortex is
So my
definitely.
dad does that. He speaks a lot of languages.
But वही तो बात है.
पश्तो,
It has to be.
हिंदी, पंजाबी, उर्दू,
देखिए, एक तो प्रैक्टिस से आती है, लेकिन जो लोग बहुत जल्द कर सकते हैं ना, that can switch it on really quick just by
right,
hearing and then recreating,
right.
that is actually your language cortex being more developed than others.
Okay. What is your favorite childhood Pakistani drama?
Oye. We used to love Enak Wala Jin, growing up.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Oh, Enak Wala Jin was classic.
I remember 50-50.
I think
That
my
was a funny
favorite
show.
Look, I mean, I loved
बट 50-50 ड्रामा नहीं था, वो तो कॉमेडी शो था, बुशान
कॉमेडी शो था.
के साथ
Uh,
और दूसरे लोगों के साथ.
honestly, as biased as it is, I think Dhoop Kinare is my favorite.
Do you remember there was a drama, and it was very popular, and it was with Marina Khan
So
and
that's the one. That's
Shehnaz
Dhoop Kinare.
Sheikh.
Oh,
नहीं,
that's Tanhaiya. Tanhaiya.
तन्हाइयाँ, वो
Tanhaiya.
मैं जब छोटी थी वो मैं बहुत शौक से देखती
वो
थी.
भी बहुत बहुत अच्छा ड्रामा था,
और
बहुत अच्छा.
शहनाज शेख अब कहाँ है मुझे कुछ नहीं पता.
She was in the States for many, many years, and now she's done some
बैक इन
acting again
पाकिस्तान.
back in Pakistan. Yeah, yeah.
अच्छा, तो
Yeah.
वो और एक और ड्रामा हुआ करता था, अनकही.
Ankahi, bilkul. Yeah, I was just going to say from that time,
वो मैं बहुत
Ankahi is
शौक
another
से
wonderful
देखती
one.
थी. उसमें एक
Wonderful play.
उनका नाम था सलीम, उनकी हरी आंखें थी, आई थिंक सलीम नाम था उनका, पता नहीं क्या नाम था. अनकही.
नहीं नहीं, उनका नाम है शकील.
शकील, शकील
शकील
उनका
साहब, जी
इंतकाल
जी
हो
जी.
गया आई थिंक.
जी, शकील रिसेंटली पास. जी.
हाँ, रिसेंटली, वो मुझे बहुत पसंद थे. अच्छा.
Absolutely. Those are good plays, yeah. Good
ओके.
plays.
डू यू रिमेम्बर, well, I already asked you. You don't remember the show 50-50. Do you
Of
remember?
course, I love Shoaib Saab is such a great friend of my parents. I love it. 50-50 to me is as great as SNL, and I wish it had continued. It would have been like it was really is so funny. If you look at the sketches, abhi tak, they
हाँ.
are still funny and still awesome. You know,
Bushra Ansari used to be so phenomenal in that.
Bushra, but she's a like a khala to me. I call her Bushra Khala. Then
I know
there's
she used to come to Dad's studio all the time.
then there's Samina Ahmed.
Right,
There's such wonderful actors that did that. So and Shoaib Hashmi Saab, who created that puppy Hashmi Saab, who created that show,
right.
legend man. I used to love that show, but it wasn't a drama series, so I didn't mention it in that. But comedy series, hands down, 50-50 has to
50-50
be it.
was the best.
Uncle Sargam. Uncle Sargam used to be awesome. Uncle Sargam was like the first puppetry. It was like our Sesame Street.
It probably came after I left because I left at,
Possibly,
so I
possibly.
don't
You left
remember.
at 9, so with Tha, it had started by then, 9, 10.
Okay, so who's your favorite rock and roll band?
I
Name a
love the
few.
Beatles, of course. I love the Beatles.
Do you like hard metal or do you like rock?
No, I don't like hard metal. I'm not a hard heavy
You're not
metal
a
fan, but
Metallica fan?
I used to love Metallica. But beyond, but to be,
I used to be a hardcore fan as a
I
teen.
was a hardcore Metallica, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all that. But I think what's topped my lists and never left me as I've gone,
Please say
older as
Guns
well.
N' Roses. Please say Guns N' Roses.
Of course, you love Guns N' Roses, but
I
I'll
love
go even.
GNR. Oh my God.
I love Gina. Grew up listening to all that, all
Yes.
that. But something that is still one of my favorites more than any other rock band is I would say Led Zeppelin. Led
Oh,
Zeppelin,
that's of course.
Led Zeppelin, and the Beatles are the two I probably still listen to the most.
Can you play any musical instruments?
I can play a little bit of the guitar, and I used to sing in a band back in the day. But
Okay.
the one thing I will still learn it. I don't care if I'm 40 something. I will learn to play the piano, man.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I will learn to play the piano. I still haven't every time I just need to get into it, but I haven't.
Okay. There's still time.
Yes, always time.
Who's your favorite author? It could be someone from Pakistan, America, anywhere in the world. It could be any genre. Who's your favorite author?
Two of my favorites are Haruki Murakami, who's a Japanese author,
Okay.
and he writes this wonderful, really beautiful, science fiction, not just science fiction, but like fiction, fantasy kind of stuff. And 1Q84 is one of my favorite books. You got to check it out by Haruki Murakami.
1Q84.
Yeah. And he's written multiple books. He's won multiple prizes, Pulitzer
How
Prize.
old is this book? 1Q84?
Not that old, I guess. I guess it's been maybe 15 years.
Did you ever read 1984?
Of course, George Orwell. Of course,
Have you have you seen the film?
of course. I'm a cinema buff. I'm a film history major, man.
Me too.
Like,
I'm a movie buff. I've
there's a
watched
no-brainer. I
everything
mean,
possible out there.
वो तो होगा ही. But so Haruki Murakami is one of my favorites, and there's an author. Of course, like I love Mohsin Hamid. I
Mohsin
love
okay.
Arundhati Roy.
Oh, phenomenal.
क्या बात क्या
God of
बात है.
Small Things is one of my favorite books.
One of the best, one
That's
of
one of
my
my
favorite.
favorite books.
I
Okay.
love I love Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist is
The
another
Alchemist. Oh, what a beautiful book.
wonderful book. Um, and there's a very I just want to mention this because a lot of people don't know, and I think maybe with this, maybe you'll read it, and a lot of other people will read it too. Is um, Hussein Moinuddin. He is an American Pakistani guy,
What
and
book?
he wrote this book, which I love, which I want to make into a series. It's called "In Other Rooms, Other Wonders."
आप जल्दी से एक शेर सुनाइए और उस शेर को उर्दू में शेर सुनाइए और उसको फिर
हाँ,
आप सुनाने के बाद इंग्लिश में जल्दी से ट्रांसलेट करिए.
Zarur, Zarur. Okay, I will tell you the first ever share that I learned. It's a very complicated share, but I was 8 years old and my grandfather taught it to me. दिल फिर तवाफ़ कुए मलामत को जाए है. दिल फिर तवाफ़ कुए मलामत को जाए है. पिंदार का सनम कदा वीरां किए हुए.
That was Greek.
So, right,
Sorry. Sorry.
it's Urdu and Farsi mix from back in the day. What it means is that, let's say, as a believer or as a lost soul, I've loved you, I've followed you, but this world has led me astray. And now I am still longing to find that connection with you, oh great
Right.
Almighty. Yeah,
Right.
so yeah. And in terms of the romantic sense, is that, you left, even though we parted ways and it was sad and I was depressed, but I'm still here and I've
Right.
never found a greater love,
Wow.
you know?
That's beautiful.
So it goes on, it's a multi-level kind of thing,
That's
which is, it's been
beautiful.
one of my, it's the first shit I ever learned from my grandfather. I had no clue
Oh
what
my
it meant,
God. That is
but, I
absolutely.
learned it like a tota, like a parrot. And I was quick with that. I still am. क्या आपके पास भी एक शेर है जो हम सुन सकते हैं? होगा तो जरूर. समझ मुझे पता है कि आपको भी शायरी और फिलोसफी का तो बड़ा शौक है. तो
अच्छा, मगर मैंने लिखा है. आप इसको
अच्छा
ट्रांसलेट करिएगा.
अच्छा चलिए.
जिंदगी क्या किसी मुफलिस की कबा है जिसमें हर घड़ी दर्द के पेवन लगे जाते हैं.
ओ हो वाह वाह बहुत अच्छे.
अच्छा, आपका
माशा
सबसे
सुभान अल्लाह.
पसंदीदा. शुक्रिया, बहुत
सुभान
बहुत शुक्रिया. और समझाने का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
अल्लाह.
अच्छा, ये बताइए कि आपका पसंदीदा स्पोर्ट क्या है.
Ooh, cricket, number one.
क्रिकेट के अलावा यार.
But these days, Pakistani cricket makes me sad. Um, Otherwise, I was a big tennis fan, and I love basketball as well. Big basketball fan.
I used to play netball as a kid.
Big basketball fan. I start like in Pakistan in the '90s. We were so inspired by the Chicago Bulls and Jordan, and there was no basketball. Basketball was not a thing.
Do you know what netball is?
Of course, I know what netball is. Yeah, yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
used to play. And they used to always pick me because I was the tallest girl in Pakistan.
So yeah, there was no basketball back then. So I started it with my teammates back then in
But I
Pakistan in
prefer
schools.
netball because there's no like there's no dribble and it's like you just pass and I was very
You
good
got a
at.
dribble, man.
There's a lot of दूर के shots में बहुत अच्छी थी मैं.
Oh, अच्छा 3 pointer हैं आप 3 pointer.
हाँ, जो भी कहते हैं उसको, मैं दूर के shots में बहुत अच्छी थी. अच्छा, ये तो हो गया आपका स्पोर्ट. अब ये बताइए आपकी फेवरेट बचपन में बोर्ड गेम कौन सी थी.
3 थे यार जो हम बहुत खेले, बहुत ज्यादा खेले. Scrabble,
That's my
Monopoly.
favorite board
Of
game.
course, उस टाइम पे यार वो ये commonality तो होती
That
थी.
was
The
my
Scrabble,
favorite. And to date, I play it
still
alone.
love it, still play it with my kids. Monopoly
Yes.
and Ludo.
Yes. सांप सीढ़ी.
And मैं अभी तक बच्चों के साथ खेलता हूँ. अभी तक. I even carried with me. I even
आगे
brought it home.
लूडो होता था, पीछे सांप सीढ़ी
पीछे
होती.
सांप सीढ़ी होता था. मैं बच्चों को सिखाया. Kids love it. And I carried back with me my last trip a full carom board that I got
कैरम
specially
बोर्ड मैं
made.
बोलने वाली थी, स्ट्राइकर.
I got it specially made और मैं लेके आया पाकिस्तान से. for the kids
Unbelievable.
to experience it.
तो मेरे आपके सेम ही है सब कुछ.
देखिए हम 90s kids हैं, वो ये तो होगा. There was
अच्छा
only
ये बताइए कि आप
there's few things.
go ahead. Do you work out at home or do you prefer going to the gym?
I am a very much believer of home workout and natural workout. So I love running outside. I hike a lot. I bike a lot on a daily, and I work out at home. I have like pull-up bars and weights and dip bars, everything at home.
Oh, so we agree in one thing. I don't like to go outside, but I am a weightlifter and I don't go to
Nice.
the gym and I work out at home.
At
And
home, man,
I
because
lift weights in the barbell and the bench press.
the thing is, our schedules are such as well. I know, mashallah, you're super busy. You're helping people. You're doing things, running around. Same with me. Schedules, whether it's filming
जब
or
भी
whether
मौका
it's
मिलता है हम घर में कर लेते हैं.
हाँ. तो
वो आसानी है.
and the key is, as you grow, as
Right.
what you learn, the key is the consistency is what keeps you solid.
Should we assume you to be an introvert or an extrovert?
I am what the new psychologists call an introvert. An introvert.
I've heard of that. Yes.
That's the new thing.
My background psychology, yes.
There you go. So that's something that I found very interesting, which I learned like just a couple of years ago. Is because I am very extroverted in general. Like I love people, love hearing about people's stories, love communicating, love having fun, love hearing wonderful things and taking that with me from people or just helping people even. I've always enjoyed that. That's been a part of who I am since I was a kid. Never
Well,
changed.
you helped me. I
You
just
did.
launched this show and you came on without any contingencies and
No, this is just
helped
a good. It's
that.
that this is my pleasure. This is just
ये
fun.
तो मतलब अभी लॉन्च भी नहीं हुआ है और आपने मेरी मदद की. मैं बहुत आपकी
This is
एहसानमंद हूँ.
Baba. By the way, Somi and हमारी उर्दू में बड़ी side talk होती है. But no, this is wonderful because I've got to have such a great conversation with such a like-minded, wonderful person, which doesn't happen every day. But yeah, I love people and I love talking to people and love meeting new people as well and hearing
I
about their
was just going to
experiences.
ask you, do you like making new friends or are
I
you
do.
content
I
with the
do.
ones you have?
I really do. I really do because I feel everybody has such interesting stories to tell, and that's how you learn more and you grow more as a person as well.
Right, exactly.
But that being said, um, because my parents are both like that, introvert and extrovert. My mom is more extroverted and her dad is more introvert. So I guess I'm also a product of that. So I'm kind of a mixed plate. But I'm also very introverted. I'm also very happy at home. Very happy with just spending time with my immediate little family, and also a lot of solo time reading and researching and doing things, writing by myself. So I never knew what
You
that is.
do stuff that I do because I'm single. So I do stuff that you do as a single person.
Absolutely, right? But Vobi, that time I know you meet so many people in your work and in general. I can tell by
Right.
the way you are. हम दोनों बातूं नहीं भी हैं. We also like to share and like to,
अगर
listen.
मैं वन ऑन वन बहुत अच्छी हूँ. अगर आप
Yeah.
मुझे बहुत सारे लोगों में बिठा दें तो मैं चुप रहती हूँ.
Right, right. So I'm good either way. To be fair, to be honest, I'm good either way.
I mean,
But
with
what I
no more
realized,
tears when we have galas and events, I have to mingle and
well, then you have
talk
to,
to
no?
people and
But you're
give
good with that. Of
speeches
course
and
you do.
stuff. That's work.
Yeah,
But personally,
yeah.
if I click with one person, I'm
Yeah.
good one on one with that person.
But that's something also that comes with maturity and age, right? As we're
Right.
growing older, that's something you also learn to appreciate because this one-on-one me you gain. That's where you get the real deal,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. So we have 10 minutes left. So we're going
Yes.
to run through this very quickly.
Let's go.
Do you trust people easily or do you always have your guard up?
I think the problem is that I trust people very easily. I'm trying in the last few years to have more boundaries. And I know you and I are very similar that way, which is why our answers have been along the same lines. But I have all my life, but I'm really trying hard. बच्चों को भी सिखा रहा हूँ और खुद भी सीख रहा हूँ कि boundaries, you don't have to be rude, लेकिन boundaries जरूरी
मैं
है.
भी सीख रही हूँ
हाँ
थोड़ा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता.
हाँ काम में अब लेकिन बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. बड़ा
बहुत
मुश्किल है
मुश्किल
बताओ.
होता है.
काम में भी
क्योंकि दिल नहीं
हाँ
जानता.
दिल खुल जाता है. I'm always open when I meet somebody. I'm like, अरे यार अच्छा अच्छा ये बताओ वो बताओ and I trust them.
हाँ,
And then फिर I
बाद में
realized,
पता चलता है कि वो उल्लू का पट्टा निकला।
हाँ, I realized कि मैंने ओवर शेयर कर दिया है और मैंने ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन दे दी है, and now it's too late.
ये मेरे एडिटर को उल्लू का पट्टा ट्रांसलेट करने में बहुत मजा आएगा। अच्छा।
So yes, so basically now I feel that yes, I do trust easy, but in the last few years I'm teaching my kids, I'm teaching myself कि यार rude होने की जरूरत, no need to be rude, but boundaries is important. That's what I say.
Excellent.
Yeah,
अच्छा, आपके in your opinion, people with a large platform
yeah.
should be politically active or on their social media or not?
Uh,
And that doesn't have to be
yeah.
celebrities. It could be someone like, Elon Musk or anyone. It could
You
be
know
anyone,
what? I feel that what's necessary. I feel that when you do reach a certain point,
right?
I think it is important to give back. Whether it doesn't necessarily have to be. That's what I meant. It doesn't necessarily have to be political, but I
Right.
think you do need to stand up for causes and what you believe in. Because I think what we all feel, if we all felt, कि यार, me saying it, what difference will it make? Then there'll be no change in the world. So I think you do need to stand for what you believe in, no matter what it is. I mean,
And
I think
even
you do.
if they're not someone that you're connected to, I think you need to give them a voice. You have to be the
That's
voice
the
for
thing.
the voiceless.
That's
You
the thing.
have to be.
I personally feel, look, to each their own. If
Right.
you don't, you don't. But I personally feel you got to stand up for what's right. Yeah, I do.
Where do you picture your life when you're 80 years old, inshallah?
Still working, still making art for sure. And I'm in some European city. Um, yeah, me and my wife just just growing old together. Yeah.
All right. Well, on this note, we're going to end our show. And you have answered all my questions so honestly. And I want to thank
Try
you
my best.
so much for your precious time. आपका कीमती वक्त आपने मुझे दिया। मैं बहुत बहुत आपकी शुक्रगुजार हूँ। I'm
Baba.
grateful to you. I'm so grateful to you. And I know our viewers are going to love this interview because you are so humble despite of your fame and your success, and you seem like such a good human being, and it's very rare, especially for me because I see horror all day long, for me to meet good human beings. So it's been such a pleasure to talk to you. And I don't even call this show a interview because it
No,
works both ways. It's a conversation.
it's a wonderful conversation. I
And
really enjoyed it.
I can't thank you enough. You've just been so amazing, and I know our viewers are going to have the utmost respect for you, even more than they respect you already. Or thank you so much, Ali, that you gave me your precious time. Thank you so much.
बेहद शुक्रिया मेरे दोस्त, बेहद बेहद शुक्रिया
आपने दोस्त कह
तहे
दिया,
दिल से.
बात ही बदल गई, बस ठीक है।